everyone, it's Michelle, and today I've got a how-to, and my how-to is how to wrap a Christmas present with more of a professional look to it. So my dad has this method, and he's like very exacting because he's a perfectionist, and I've kind of taken on some of those traits as well, but not to the same extreme. I do appreciate him teaching us this method of wrapping presents, because it gives such a nice look to the finished present. So I already have wrapped it here, so I'm going to show it to you. So this is the end result of wrapping in this fashion. And of course this works for boxes specifically, and yeah. Oddly wrapped gifts, I always put them in a box because I'm not so good at wrapping things that are not easily wrapped. So boxes are easiest, and that's what I tend to go for. So this is actually my mom's Christmas present right here. And I've made a little tag out of some wrapping paper. So to Mom, from Michelle, with love. So this is the tutorial I'm going to show you, and if you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And I just am so excited to share this technique with you because it looks really great, and you just put all your presents all lined up under your tree, and it just looks fantastic because the corners are sharp, the edges are nice. You use very minimal supplies for this. Very minimal tape for this, even though when I was younger I used to tape the heck out of everything just to watch my family members struggle trying to open their gifts from me. It was just too much fun. I will see you in the tutorial. Keep watching ShadowMiss90 at blogspot.com to see what's coming up next, and thanks so much for watching. You have a beautiful day, and here we go! Alright, so here's what you will need. Number one, a present, and this is actually for my mother, and it's a garlic press because that's what she wanted this Christmas, because she doesn't have one. So I got a garlic press for her at Target, and it's the one that has the smallest holes in it because I just feel that that gives more minced garlic, which is what my family tends to like. So I have that in a box here, and so this is going to show you this gorgeous way of wrapping. You need, of course, wrapping paper. So I have two different styles here, and I picked these up from Joann's last year for $1, which is fantastic. The other things that you'll need are, of course, a pair of scissors, some tape, a pencil, and I just use a Sharpie so I can write the person's name on the gift when I'm done. So anyway, let's go ahead and get done with this. Let me move some things here. And I'm sorry if you can hear the fish tank in the background. It's kind of loud. But anyway. So, what you're going to want to do with your wrapping paper is to make sure that your box is going to have a nice amount of space. So you kind of just position, let me move this so you can see it a little bit better. So you want to position your box. And this is actually a really good set right here from where I left off before. That's what I meant to do. So what you're going to need to do actually is wrap this all the way around the box because you want to make sure that the whole thing is covered. And so go all the way across and make sure that it touches the other side. And then take your pencil and make sure it's nice and straight here. So then take your pencil. And I don't use a really sharp pencil. I won't use a mechanical pencil because you can damage your wrapping paper. So I'm just going to make a little mark there so that I know where my line is. And keeping my box correct, I'm going to take the side here and make sure that that goes all the way up the box. Up the side of the box, just a little tiny bit extra so there's not a whole lot of excess wrapping paper. But since I've got this weird little lip here, I want to make sure that I cover that. So now I'm going to make another mark with my pencil on the other side. got my lines, I can remove the box and take my scissors. Now I wanted to use the candy cane wrapper because it's just brighter and more festive than this wrapping paper. Even though this one's really pretty with the gold and the snowflakes, I just thought candy canes would be great because my mom is very sweet and has a sweet disposition. So, now I've got my lines, so now I'm going to eyeball this and make my cuts. And now I'm going to turn this so I can get a better angle. And then just start cutting the other way. Alright, so now that I've got my piece there, I'm going to roll the rest of this up for use later. And you can always, if you have something like this, you can always cut it and make a tag, like a name tag, and I'll do that at the end of this. So, now we gotta remember how we had our box here, and it was like so. And flip it so that the top is down, so you can hide all your seams and everything. And then make sure that this goes up halfway on both sides here, and it surely does. And I'm going to wrap this around nice and snugly, and then wrap that around nice and snugly and make those meet in the middle. And then I kind of just maneuver it around so that the edges stay somewhat flush, though I didn't cut it exact, so they're going to be slightly off, but that's okay. You'll see that it doesn't really matter. So now you take your piece of tape. I just take my little piece of tape, put that in the middle so I can secure it, and then I put two little pieces on the edges, almost to the end of the box. So I kind of just feel it, and then tack that down, because that helps to keep this section from popping up when you're folding down the sides. Alright. So now if you need to, the reason I taped it to itself and not to the box is so if you need to, you can move the box around if your sides don't match up. So now you want to do one side first, so I like to make it nice and snug here as well. I like to flatten out my edges and then just start folding it down. I'll try and turn this so you can see. And every once in a while it'll get like kind of crinkly right there. Just want to flatten it and then crease it. So that's one. And do the same thing on this other little side right here. Take your nice little corner and then start bringing it in. And you can manipulate this however you need to make sure that it stays. And then you just want to lift this. It's a little difficult to do on glass, but that's alright. I'll find a way. There we go. Alright, so you want to make sure, yep, it stays nice. Alright, I'm just going to tape it in the middle, right there, and then put two little tacks down right there in the corners. And yeah, it still has a little bit of a flap, but no one's going to really notice unless they look really up close at it. So now that you've got one side done, you can see it's all nice and pretty. Now you can stand it up and make the other side even better. So, do the same process on the other side. I like to stand it up so that I can get some good sharp edges to my corners here, and then show you how it looks. So you see how it is? That side's even better than the other side, and I'm just going to tack down these little edges here. just to give it a little bit more staying power. Now when I was younger, I used to tape the whole thing all the way down the line so there was no purchase on the paper, so you couldn't find a spot to rip it at all. Yes, I know, it's very mean. So this is your finished package. You can see your corners and everything are nice and squared off. It's super nice, not a whole lot involved. Everything is covered very nicely. No excess wrapping paper, is nice and, you know, everything's all tucked in and looking good. And you can stand it up like so. Put a bow on it however you want. You can actually wrap a bow around the corners, which is actually kind of a neat thing. I don't have any ribbon, so I can't show you that process. So I'm just going to label this with the little bit of wrapping paper. So I'm going to actually move that. And I'm just going to take a little square of wrapping paper. So I'm going to fold it. And then I'm going to cut it. And I actually have to move this so I can make a better cut for it. Alright. And then I'm going to square off my edges because I like things to be nice and neat. Alright, so now you've got your nice little tag that you can label your present so the right person gets the right present. And I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to write. Now you got your nice little label there. Now you can keep it all nice and closed. And then just make your little bubble of tape so that you can stick it to your nicely wrapped package. And it can also kind of blend in a little bit to the package itself. I don't really care, but just do like so. Tack that there, and then tack that there, and there you have it. So that is your completed package, your completed Christmas wrapped present. And I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you use this technique this year for your Christmas wrapping. And have a wonderful day, and a Merry Christmas. Bye!